Okay, so I've posted this in the useless thread now, as well as on the Coyotes board, but I really want a Coyotes jersey for the upcoming season, because I had like literally nothing when I went to games last season. I made, well, I'm not going to really speculate on anything, but for some reason I was really unable to afford like Coyotes paraphernalia for going to games, because I spent most of my money on tickets instead. But this year, I'm going to be able to buy a Coyotes jersey. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Coyotes jersey, but I want something to wear to games other than this. I had a white T-shirt that some Paw Patrol member like kind of threw in my section, and I got that like maybe 2 or 3 games into the season. That's what I wore to games the rest of the season. Anyway, so I really want a Coyotes jersey this season, and there are 3 options that I'm going through. Um, I've posted them in the useless thread. I've posted them in the Coyotes board. I've got a bit of feedback on them. The 3 options are because, I mean, some of you, because of my old username, you know me as being obsessed with David Rundblad because I think he's hot. That's really the only obsession I have with him. Like, yeah, he's an up-and-coming good defenseman, like especially as an offensive defenseman, but as far as the Coyotes are concerned, we have somebody better than that in Keith Yandle. So, I mean, if I had to choose between the two, like Keith Yandle and David Rundblad, I'd trade David Rundblad. When it comes to attractiveness, I mean, Keith Yandle is ugly. I'm sorry, but he is. He's a better player than David Rundblad, but he's uglier than David Rundblad. So anyway, David Rundblad he's number 3 on my list of selections when it comes to getting some kind of customized Coyotes jersey. The other 2 are completely unrelated to hockey. One was having McMillan, which is the last name of my username, and then the number 42. If you have any idea about The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is a novel series that I really like, it'll make completely perfect sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you based on that, then it probably never will, so I'm not going to really go into explaining that to you. The only worry I really have about that is we've drafted somebody named Brandon McMillan, and he has played a couple games for the Portland Pirates, which is our AHL affiliate, and his last name is McMillan. I don't know if his number is 42 on the Portland Pirates. It may be, it may not be. It would make perfect sense if it was, if he had any kind of sense of humor. But it probably isn't, because, I mean, it's like a 1 in 100 chance. I'm rambling at this point. So, I mean, the NHL customized jersey store, if I were to order off of them, has a lot of really restrictive rules. Like, if I were to try and order a Coyotes jersey with Solane 9, they'd just completely block me from making that purchase. Because Teemu Solane, I mean, last season at least, he's in signed for 13-14. He has the number 9 with the Anaheim Ducks. And he plays for the Anaheim Ducks. Well, he did last season at least, and you can't do something like that. If it's a current player with a current number, they're not going to let you customize that with another team. Like any other team. I know I just used Teemu Solane as a random example. I couldn't be like, oh hey, I want a Coyotes jersey and I want Zdeno Chara on the back of my jersey with his number. No, they'd be like, no, we're not giving you that. So that's kind of an area of concern. The other one is Taylor Swift, who's I'm a really big fan of, and her favorite number is 13, as evidenced by the fact that if you really want to follow her on Twitter, which I'm pretty none of you want to follow her on Twitter if you're even a Twitter user, her Twitter handle is Taylor Swift 13. So I was considering getting a jersey with the last name Swift and the number 13. Pretty much every person I've ever talked to about this idea has been like, if you do that, you're stupid, that's a jersey foul, please don't do that. That actually kind of makes me want to do it more. Even though I would prefer McMillan 42 to that, I've kind of lost my train of thought, and I'm already at 4.5 minutes, and nobody's going to watch this video and make it this far, so I'm just going to click stop recording. Bye.